Welcome to Deep Work Out Loud, the thinking that fuels our life, our work, and our leadership. I'm Julie Harris-Oliver. This is the podcast where I sit with another professional coach and we do some work around a single concept, a piece of inspiration, a topic we've seen come up in coaching. And if we're very lucky while we're talking about it, we might demonstrate what it might look and feel like to work with a coach. But we'll see how this goes. It's all an experiment. With any luck, you will leave with something that you can use in your life or your work or both. Today, I'm here with Helena Neubert. Helena is a life guide and artist based in Silicon Valley by way of Germany. With a Master's of Fine Arts and 20 years working in image, including years as a corporate visualization artist, making other people's thinking visible in real time, she now turns that same gift inward, helping entrepreneurs and leaders see themselves clearly. Her work ends in something unusual, a bespoke painting of who a person actually is. She calls it The Original, a 4-week, one-to-one retreat in self-inquiry that draws on fine art, personality frameworks, and meditation, and leaves a person holding an image of their essence rather than their job title. At the heart of her work is a conviction that we know ourselves best, not through more analysis, but through inner image. The right symbol, recognized rather than chosen, can hold what words circle for years and show someone something true about who they are. That question feels newly urgent in the age of AI. Her guiding line, meet yourself now or be replicable, frames self-knowledge as a crucial asset AI cannot reproduce, and the thing most high achievers postpone until success quietly stops feeling like enough. Warm, playful, and unafraid of the big questions, she makes a conversation about identity feel less like therapy and much like finally being seen. Oh, I cannot wait to get into this conversation. Hello, Helena.
Hi, Julie. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. And you?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to start talking about this. All of this bio, as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, what's that? What's that? So why don't we start with what brought you to this work, and then could you tell us what this work is?
Absolutely. And thank you for having me. So the original interest that I had was in painting. I'm a trained painter and artist. And I did grand scale installations to the point where the paintings were too big to store. Like I would need giant halls. And I kind of transcended the painting into thinking. So I realized that I'm not actually painting with the color, but I'm painting with my mind first. That's when I started being interested in life visualization and working with companies, making their business patterns visible. And while I love this work, I iterated because I was missing to see the personal impact I could have. And that's how I actually got to, doing this work, but also weaving into it my own original qualities. The more I learned about myself, the better I was able to tailor my work and to create the place that I wanted to be in, that I wanted to be present in.
Can you describe first what visualization is for companies? What does that look like?
So you have a value proposition, for example, you have a product and it might need some explanation. And because images are more information dense than text, and symbols are also more information dense than text, you can create shorthands that simplify things. And you have like a high level, a big picture overview over what it is that you want to sell to people. Everything is story, whether it is a product or a person, everything is story. And that is what I'm visualizing there, to create anchors of memory, and you see everything at once.
Okay, now how are you doing this with people?
So how am I doing this with people? So the container that I like to work in is a month, not because it takes a month, but because it gives people the flexibility to explore on their own pace. So I work with very few people, and that allows me to be there when they need me and not be there when they need to take the walk on the beach or in the forest. So first of all, I try to understand where people are coming from. So they come to me usually with big questions about their identity. Who am I now? Where do I want to go? Why does this matter to me? And then we look at their personality, we look at their value, mission, purpose. The things that often in this kind of work, I kind of scattered a little bit over different people who have specialized in it. I tie it all together. And it expands through the time, and people being able to, okay, now I want to do this, now I want to do this. And I make sure that they get the whole overview, and then they get the painting at the end. Did I answer your question?
It did. You did. Because it sounds like all the pieces are kind of like the regular coaching journey. We go through the values and the vision and all of those things. And then, but then you come out with a painting at the end of it. So how are you guided on what to paint?
Okay. So there are several aspects to this. There's definitely a coaching aspect, because actually coaching as a modality totally surprised me. I fell in love with coaching. Before that, I had, an idea of how to consult, come from the consulting part. But then I realized that creating the space for the other person allows me to not interfere. And that was a magic there that I love. So it is coaching, but it's also the painting in the mind that I mentioned before. So, for example, if I speak to you and you use a certain metaphor, you can use the metaphor to clarify your thinking, or you can also use the metaphor to explore something that's unresolved or not clear to you yet. You can literally walk in your mind through a landscape or an image and explore the symbols and what they mean to you. All of this is like a landscape of meaning we explore, and these are the images that I use. And then there are certain elements that I had to do for myself. So every year I create a vision for myself, and I check in with my values, and they do change. Because these values that I had, for example, for a long time, I had peace as my value because I hadn't found it yet. And then once I did find it, I don't want to say master, but it kind of integrated. Then something else came in its space. And I don't know how you do value work, but I elicit. So that means people have to choose. It's a little bit uncomfortable. We create a hierarchy from a heterarchy, right? And you have to choose. And there's a little bit of discomfort, but the discomfort tells us what is important in the moment. And I put these things together. Plus, very crucially, if people are open to it, I like to work with animal symbols, because animal symbols is something that is very accessible. And most of us have some type of relationship to animals, whether it's to our own pets or to what a symbol represents, an animal represents. Their inherent qualities, so to speak, are very strong. And I like to work with that.
That's so interesting. It's fascinating for me because the story I tell myself is that I'm not actually very good with metaphor. Like, I know there's some people who can just like this, just pull out a picture that it's like a canoe on a river. And I find that really challenging. Like, either something comes in and I have the metaphor, or I struggle. So I'm interested in how you're able to do that, or how it works.
Okay. So the words we use, I don't really see a difference between an image and a word. So for example, if you imagine in your head a canoe, you just said a canoe, right? And then you have an image, or you write down the word canoe, there is not really a difference, because we assign the meaning. We know that it is a boat, it is a mode of transportation, it works on water. There's certain things that go with it. So for me, it's one and the same. So
wait, did I read that you have synesthesia?
Yeah, I do. I do have synesthesia.
Can you talk about that for a second?
Yeah, sure.
So do you see? Tell me. You say what it is.
So synesthesia is when your nervous system is wired a little bit differently. So I'm definitely some kind of neurodivergent. Probably a very rainbowy flavor of it, because every time I speak, I have an image in my head. So if you say tiger, I see tiger. If you say canoe, I see canoe. But then when you ride canoe, what is the difference between riding it, imagining it, and then also looking at it? So we think that the canoe is real if we look at the canoe. But actually what we always have is just the idea of the canoe, whether we look at it physically or we look at it written. It's still the actual perception happens inside of us. And that is what I like to work with.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
And it's usually attached to a feeling as well, or color.
Oh, okay. The only thing I have to equate to this is like, this is going to sound bananas. With numbers, my whole life, every number to me has a gender and a story and a relationship.
That's
with the other numbers.
It's also synesthesia. Now I'm mispronouncing it, but it's also you might want to explore that.
Oh, okay. Well, then I have that too. I could tell you the whole family lineage of prime numbers.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay. Anyway, back to you.
No, but that's actually one of the things that I like to explore, because these things are highly individual. the images, the abilities, the nervous system, how it shows up, how the interpretations work, all of that. And it's interesting. It's the same way. Have you ever seen like a really old museum where all of the paintings are on the wall, like as like almost scattered, like 20, 50 on one wall?
Yeah. It's too much.
Yes. And then if that's true. And sometimes that is also overwhelming. Like the brain is full of thoughts, but then we select the ones that we want to keep on the wall. And that is how my work actually is. We select the images you want to have on your inner mental wall. And it's not just the images themselves, it's also the relationships, the interpersonal or intersubject relationships your images have. So for example, you do the Myers-Briggs. Then you have this shorthand, that's one symbol. And then you have your animal symbol. And then you have your skills and your values. And all of that is on your inner exhibition wall in your sense of self. You work through all of it. And then on one layer up above that, you have your anchors that you can tap into. Every morning, I see my own original on the back of my screen. I know who I am at all times. You could wake me up at 1 a.m. in the morning and I can make a decision like that. I always know who I am. That's what this work does.
It sounds like it's almost like a vision board, but you're not, except it's not forward looking, it's inner looking, and you're not cutting up magazines. It just so oversimplify it.
It's an interesting way to look at it, but you could say that. Yeah, it's an inner vision board. And it's actually also a skill. So people don't walk away just with a painting, but they walk away with the skill of being able to see inward.
Okay.
So for example, you just demonstrated it. You spoke about your numbers, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how often something like that would come up in conversation. Probably never, ever, sometimes.
Well, at one point when my kids were small, I asked all of them, what do you think the number 3 is?
Interesting.
And I can barely remember, but I think they also had thoughts on their gender and relationships, but they were different.
Yeah. So everybody has a very individual landscapes. And this is also important to say, the territory is not the map. So I am simplifying and patterning these things for access. That doesn't mean that it's a definite descriptor of the person. I only can get as close as I am allowed to by the person themselves, and it's only as accurate as they themselves deem it to be, which is, one of the issues that I encountered when I started to be a painter back in my 20s. I would paint something and it would relate to the people or not. And I wanted to create art that deeply relates to the people. And it does, because it's their images, not mine. I'm a conduit.
Okay, so how do you get those images?
So there are different ways. As I said, some people have intuitive access and some people I am guiding, actually most people I am guiding through an inner journey, a guided meditation. Some might want to call it shamanic journeying. It is essentially guided daydreaming. And some people have, just want to explore this inner world that they haven't had the opportunity to go into. I was called to this work by means of being really sick. So I was really sick and I didn't know why in my late teens. And I wondered if there was like a spiritual aspect to it. Now I know that the spiritual is the natural and that is a completely artificial, that is my personal opinion, a completely artificial divide. And it's mysterious and it's also very normal. But
Wait.
exploring.
Slow down.
Yes.
Slow down.
Okay.
What did you say?
What did I just say? Can you tell my animal by virtue of how I express myself? My animal symbol?
No.
Okay, we'll get there.
Okay. Something you said about realizing that the spiritual was an artificial divide. Mm-hmm. Is that what you said? Okay, say that again.
The spiritual and the natural is an artificial divide.
Meaning it is all one?
It is all one.
Okay.
The question itself is the question itself, what is the spiritual and what is the natural, is creating the division in the middle. So how we look at things defines how we see them. And because I had the feeling that something was missing, I was trying to explore the spiritual side of me. That's how I got into core shamanism, as it was taught by Michael Harner. who was an American shamanic practitioner who had greatly inspired me, because essentially all you need to do this guided journeying is a drum beat. It's monotone. It changes how we perceive things. It sets us in an awareness or in a sense of consciousness that's very close to dreaming, but we are awake. And I had done that so much that I could walk through images. So landscapes, ask questions, get answers through the symbols that I'm encountering. And I can do that with other people as well.
Oh, like in a meditative state.
In a meditative state, yes.
Okay. This is not foreign to me. This part I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
Cool. Yeah.
So I wonder if you could walk us through kind of a simple example without doing a full guided meditation here on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. So without the meditative state, we still have access to our own symbolic assignment of meaning, right? So I said earlier, do you know my animal symbol? And what we could do, and what our listeners could do, is to pick a conflict that they had with another person and to just think about, in this situation, it doesn't have to be, your own true animal symbol. But in this situation, which animal did you resemble most? And what animal did the other person resemble most?
Oh, okay. So I should think of one.
Want to? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. A specific time or just a person?
Whichever conflict comes to your mind that was unresolved or that you have questions about could be useful.
Okay.
So you can let go of it by virtue of perceiving it.
Yeah.
And
okay.
May I add that the benefit of this is that there are no bad animals. So we are not judging. We're not putting people in a box. We can just see how they fit or don't.
Okay, interesting. Okay, then I have one in mind.
You want to share? What animal were you in that conflict situation?
Oh, what animal was I? Let's see. The thing that just came to mind was eager beaver.
Eager beaver?
Eager beaver.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was an eager beaver.
And the other person?
Oh, that's hard.
Take your time.
I want to say muskrat, even though I am not entirely sure. Like, I don't even have a clear picture of what a muskrat is right now, or what their qualities are. But I feel like muskrat.
Don't challenge me at all. I have never seen a muskrat, but I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, now we're going to have to put a muskrat in the show.
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay. All right. So this came to you intuitively, the symbol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do you think the beaver and the muskrat were interacting in the conflict?
Oh, yeah. That's tricky because I thought they didn't put a muskrat. I don't know. Oh, I should have looked it up.
So muskrats are apparently rats that live in like water environments.
Oh, like I'm picturing that's what I'm picturing. Like kind of plotting, conniving, like that.
Okay. So rats are socially usually very intelligent, so they would know how to direct things.
Yep.
Okay. And that's a quality that the eager beaver didn't like.
No.
Okay.
Because if I'm thinking eager beaver, it's so weird to do this because I'm like, well, let me tell the story in a way that makes me look really good and makes the other person look really terrible. But when I'm thinking of
metaphor, it's just a metaphor. Both of these are in your perception. So if the person frustrated you, of course, maybe the assigned symbol for them isn't the most positive. But at the end of the day, it's neutral. So don't worry.
You said there are no bad animals.
There are no bad animals.
When I see the beaver, I think the beaver is just going around doing their job. Like it's fairly simple. Like I'm just gonna build this dam in the way that I know how and the best way and this is just what I'm gonna do. And I see the muskrat as being kind of what you said about kind of super intelligent, but kind of plotting, kind of manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this tapping fingertips gesture.
Okay. So, and so the beaver is, we could probably say the ego is, and I'm asking you to agree or disagree, intuitive and industrious.
Oh, sure.
Okay. And the
Sure.
muskrat, you describe them as socially intelligent and potentially plotting or conniving.
Conniving, yeah.
Conniving. Okay.
Yeah. Conniving.
So if you look at the beaver and the muskrat, and the muskrat is, do you want to look up the muskrat? Just by the way,
Yeah,
do you want to look
I
them
should.
up for a moment because the symbol came from your subconscious?
Yep. I
And
should
maybe see
probably
what's-
have an idea what I'm talking about.
Well, I expect the image to speak to you the moment you see it.
Oh, here, let me click on images. Yeah, he's totally rubbing his little fingers together like this, but also looks a lot like a beaver.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Looks, which actually tracks.
For the listeners that don't see Julie right now, she's very surprised.
I'm speechless. I am speechless.
Mm. What is their element, both of them? Their main element that they live in?
Well, they both kind of live in the water, it looks like.
Mm.
They're shaped the same. They kind of look the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're both kind of chubby and brown.
Chubby and brown. Little bit. Okay.
Tracks.
Uh-huh.
But I would say the difference is the muskrat has a skinny little tail and the beaver does not.
Mm.
Anyway, carry on.
By virtue of their territory and element, are they close together or far apart?
Close.
Okay. Does that mean they live in the same territory?
I think so.
Could that be one of the reasons why they are in conflict?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. We could explore this deeper, right? We can now think about what is the social structure of beaver families versus how do muskrats live. My understanding is that beavers are also socially intelligent and that they build the dams as an environment for their people. And they might, we can go on here.
I'm kind of stunned, actually. Because
it always works.
I didn't know. Because I didn't really know what I was saying when I said those things. And then I pulled up okay. Well, I'm all in, Helena. Whatever you're doing, you know what you're doing.
Well, in a way you did know, but maybe it hadn't come to your awareness. So I've had this, and thank you for being willing to do this little experiment. I hope the listeners are also, considering exploring some conflicts in this way by just assigning an animal to themselves in a situation and to the other person. And always something comes up. We've talked about it in our conversation earlier, in another conversation, that somebody had a conflict with their boss and they assigned a lion to themselves and a squirrel to the other. And the lioness was describing the conflict she had with the squirrel that was invading her and hiding projects and essentially burying projects where she couldn't find them. And, then thinking about how can she bait the squirrel to show up. And as somebody who has the habit of hand feeding my former neighbor's squirrels because they moved away and their squirrel is now searching for hand-fed nuts at my door. We get to understand how these animals interact by virtue of their qualities. And we all know these qualities without having to do a lot of work.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to make me laugh for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really good.
Thank you.
That was really good.
And it also works the other way around. Sometimes we recognize, if we try to do this, we recognize these animal symbols in others very intuitively. So I can, at this point, if I wanted to, I could kind of switch into my other perception and see, okay, what kind of animal quality am I working with in this person? And a lot of the people that I've spoken to are actually, or that I've done this work with, feel that it's a very intimate symbol. So there's so much meaning assigned to it that they not necessarily want to share it. But for me personally, thankfully, I don't mind. And it's funny because I went to a wedding a few years ago and I tried to see if people could assign the right animal to me. And they did it in 2 tries without me explaining much more about the concept than I did to you now. So it works the other way around as well.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to guess?
Here's the problem I'm having is I think you made me guess during our prep session.
Oh, no, I did.
Did you?
Possibly.
So,
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what it is as opposed to like guessing it right now, but I have no idea.
What do you know about me to be true already?
I know that you are, I think you are open.
Mm.
I think you are persistent.
Mm.
I think you are an artist, but also an analytical mind.
Am I fast or slow?
Fast. I think you have a very perky energy. I
love it.
How am I doing?
You're doing very well.
Am
I colorful or beige?
You are colorful. There's a this sort of energy.
Okay.
Is it a parrot?
Mm-hmm. Okay. That was the first guess of the people at the wedding as well.
Is parrot?
It's close. Not quite there.
Is it peacock? No.
What's really fast and colorful?
Oh, hummingbird.
There you go. Hello.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And people get to that very quickly, usually. So within 1 or 2 tries, if they think about it. And when I explored my animal symbol, it went really far because, for example, my vision, I don't have regular stereo vision. I have monovision because my eyes are a little bit angled. So for me, I always understood depth of space to be ordered by color, which is exactly how hummingbirds see. So the more I explored the symbol, the crazier the commonalities were for me. And I actually encountered my animal symbols in one of those shamanic journeys where I just put, drum sounds on my headphones when I was, I believe, 19 or so.
And it was a hummingbird?
It was a hummingbird. And it has been with me ever since. Yeah. So
if you had to guess what mine was, what would it be?
Oh my God. Uh-huh. Thing is, you've interviewed me. I haven't interviewed you yet. So I don't really know that much about you. I think, what you told me about yourself with this situational symbol of the beaver is that there's something to you that loves to build. So I would probably look at animals that build. Or if you wanted to go with numbers, if I were to work with you in your own meaning system, we would find a number that represents you best. So I'm not forcing my symbols on people, whatever works for them we're using. Yeah. Maybe you're a person who needs a number and not an animal.
Oh, that is interesting too. It's either a 2 or a 4 or some combination.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Where can people find you?
People can find me on my LinkedIn. My name is Helena Neubert, Neubert, and they would probably see pop up Life Guide and Artist, or they can write me an email at yes@helenaverse.co.
I will link to all that in the show notes. I feel we're already at half an hour. I feel like that time was 2 seconds long.
That means we had a great time.
Yeah, that was super fun. Thank you so much for doing this, Helena. It was so nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you, Julie. And thank you for being so brave to share your own symbols as well.
Oh, sure. I feel like I didn't reveal anything. Now I'm thinking, was there enough context? But it's none of people's business. I'm going to tell you, Beaver and Muskrat was exactly right.
This is actually, if I may just add that at the end, this is also one way of creating privacy for my clients. They don't need to share that much. I'm not the one who has the insight. They are the ones who have the insight. So we can talk about, really intimate things, even family history, without me getting too close.
This reminds me, I did not ask you what you would leave us with.
What would I leave you with? Hopefully with the impulse to explore your sense of self and to create a landscape of meaning, whether it is through writing, symbols, or whatever works for you. But I believe that the sense of self that we have, and the stronger it is, the better our life is. We are more aligned. We are less manipulable. We can focus our attention on ourselves. We are grounded. We make good decisions. So without overselling the method, it works for everything.
Well, I'm all in. I'm a believer. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye. This has been Deep Work Out Loud. I'm Julie Harris-Oliver. I'd like to thank Helena Neubert for joining the podcast. If any of this resonates with you, please subscribe and leave a review at all the podcast places and share this episode with a friend. If you'd like to work with me, you can find me at julieharrisoliver.com. And let me leave you this invitation. That thing she did with me of picking the animals was incredible. So why don't you think about if there's an animal that really symbolizes you, resonates with you. Try that on. Report back. Thanks for listening. See you next time.